Welcome back, everyone, for the next part of Chrono Ark. In the last part, a lot happened. We got the first ending of this game, called the Birdcage, had, technically speaking, a happy ending with Lucy and Klein and pretty much everyone except of Azar and Phoenix. Phoenix didn't really fit into that virtual world anymore. Azar, well, the first Azar, created a perfect replica of the original world, and a fiery bird would have probably broke the illusion of that. So even if he brought her back, if that's even possible at that point of time, I mean, she was also kind of deleted on a system level, there was no way for her to take part in that. Same goes to Azar 2 and 1. 2 was also completely deleted. 1 was forced to go back into his slumber. He gave everyone a chance to live a happy life, even if it is a fake one, in a virtual world. But he didn't get to share any of that. And killed billions of people in the process, because his decline of an opportunity to give everyone a chance in order to save themselves and their originals kind of doomed the outside world in its entirety. Right? It is a bittersweet ending. On one hand, you see a beautiful world, and on the other, you know everyone around that is dead. Now, I'm pretty sure if we reach the second ending, we have a similar outcome. The outside world is thriving, and everything in here is probably going to get deleted. Because everyone's leaving and getting deleted, which results in death. Tricky. I really wish to know how they would resolve this issue, because let's be serious, nobody would just kill themselves for somebody else. Even if that somebody else is actually their original self, this is still a difficult decision to make. Because from their point of view, they have no way to check if that's actually true. If that memories got actually transferred. Because they are all stuck here. They just have to believe. And believing is something most people have difficulties to do. I mean, that's the reason why some of the people refused to go into the pots, right? Because they were afraid that they never wake up again. Which is a rightful decision. I mean, let's be serious. In that ending, nobody woke up. Nobody came around or saved them. They had to believe in the neighbors to wake them up. And during that one ending, they never came around to do that. So yeah, can't wait to see the second ending to this, right? Once we go back into the runs and probably also work on our investigators, let's be serious. I also need a bunch of investigators to unlock another report around here, right? Yes. Yes, here. All characters, golden token of friendship. Except of Azar, because Azar can't really fight against himself. It seems like there's a lot for us to do in this week, which is perfect because we just finished the last event chapter of Limbus Company, which means for this week I have 5 parts free to do whatever I want to. Right? I could jump straight into the ending, which would probably be a good choice, seeing how we literally hit the 30th part today. But I don't really feel like it right now. The last week was so stressful, there was one cutscene after the other. How about we take it easy for the Monday part at least? And the next couple of days, because we really need to work on our characters. I mean, I literally have a bunch of characters that haven't even had a single Clover. Ironheart and Joey, they saved us so many times during the last 2 runs. Even Trisha, those guys, they saved us so many times during the last 2 runs. They deserve their friendship tokens. Especially Joey. If Joey didn't get his healing skills, I would have totally been screwed against the second match against the Program Master. His Eradicate skill is really scary. Especially if you don't have a stun at hand, or the necessary healing skill to get around it. Right? Anyways, I would say for today's part, you first are going to read a couple of stories, and then check out the town a little. I already went out a bit in order to make a little shopping tour again. I mean, I always do that in order to spend my credits, and I already saw that Azar is back in town. And I also need to search for a skin that I might have unlocked thanks to the last ending. I'm not entirely sure about that. I read a comment, something about a school suit for Lucy. Wasn't really able to find that one yet, but if they told me that I have that one unlocked, then I'm surely going to make sure to equip it, right? Lucy's current outfit is kind of cute, but if I have an option to change it, just because I unlocked it, at the very least I need to bring it for one run, right? Certainly. Now, let's start with Chiyo's story. Okay. Chiyo tells someone a story about her past. Chiyo's home country, renowned for its genetic technology, had an incomprehensible law that she was subjected to. In order to resist her fatal death, Chiyo desperately struggled to survive, going as far as to turn to crimes, but that came at a cruel price. And at the last moment, when she thought everything was over, a certain man came to visit Chiyo, which was Klein. You can already see it. So Chiyo became a criminal, which is kind of understandable because she already said she had a hacker background. Do you know about the country called Xylem? Xylem? Oh, it's the place where I was born. A very small country with an extremely advanced genetic technology that's grown into its own corporeal nation. A small but clean land with cutting-edge technology, abundant natural resources, and above all, enormous wealth accumulated through genetic technology. Depending how you look at it, this place may seem like a dreamland without any worries. There are quite a few people who want to emigrate here. However, this country is not as peaceful as it seems. Although they are not obvious about it, Kylum believed that only humans created with their superior genes are true humans. What do I mean? Well, to put it simply, they manipulated it. The human genome. Children born in Kalium have their genes manipulated and are born with genes several times superior to that of an ordinary person. The reason why this is possible is because the government manage all births in the country. The people of Kaliums are unable to have children with each other due to the genetic modifications. Of course, marrying people in other countries is also illegal. Then, how is a child born, you ask? Artificial embryos. If a couple in Kalium wants to have a child, they must request one from the government. Kalium also created children on their own to increase the workforce. Thanks to their advanced genetic technology, Kalium is able to control their own population, and they are free from the problem of low birth rates. The problem is, as I mentioned before, they believe only people created with their superior genes are true humans. They deliberately optimize the human genome and pump out superhumans as if they were creating video game characters. Because of this, the people of Kalium have the perception that they are the most superior beings on Earth, and that people from other countries are just simply inferior. They think in the not-so-distant future, only the people of Kalium will prosper as the other inferior being die out from natural selection. That is the kind of awful ideology this country has. What about me? Of course, I'm also a child born in Kalium with modified genes. But I'm a little different from the other kids. My genes were more superior compared to the others. To put it simply, I was a genius amongst geniuses. Well, I sound like a show-off? Well, that is understandable. It is true that I'm special. But even someone like me had a major flaw. You see, I was extremely lazy. Imagine the type of person who could do anything if they tried, but never bothered to do so. I never understood the reason, But everything felt tiresome to me. Eating food, working, sleeping, later on, even breathing felt like a chore. While I was wasting away my years, tired of doing anything, a certain incident happened that changed my life forever. One day, I suddenly felt a little unwell, so I went to the hospital to go check it out. The doctor who finished the examination spoke to me with a serious expression. "You will soon die." Oh, what's this all of a sudden? Yeah, I didn't know what was going on either. That is, until I realized that I was a regular subject selected by the Life Regulation Act. There's a law in Callium where one person is randomly selected from all the children born in that year to become a regulation subject. Without ever knowing the fact, the subject lives a normal life and grows until, on the midnight, they go from teenager to an adult. They die. Why does this law exist? Well, the purpose officially stated by the government is to make us realize the value of life in a situation where we could die at any moment. And nobody tells them who the subject is, so everyone thinks they might die once they reach their adulthood. Oh, this is a terrible law. But as I said, it's impossible for anyone around you, including yourself, to know that you've been designated as a subject. So it was only after the midnight you become an adult that you could feel at ease knowing you were not the subject. Or if you're the victim, you may find out even before becoming an adult. That's right. I was only born so that I could die. On the day I die, the passing of the regulation subject would have been announced, and I would have become a hero who died for the sake of our freaking country! Wow! The others who survive would see my death and learn the value of their own lives. Would you accept this? The fact that you had to die just for that? I couldn't. And from that day on, I, the person who was too lazy to do anything, gained a new goal. To survive. I did everything I possibly could in order to survive. According to my research, I found medicine being sold for the black market that could delay the death of people like me. To cover the cost of this medicine, I did all that I could to earn the money. As a miner, the things I could do were mainly IT-related work using computers. Fortunately, I had talent, so I was able to save more money than most ordinary people. Even so, it wasn't enough to cover the cost of that expensive medicine. Huh? What about my parents? Of course, at first, my dad worked to the bone trying to delay my death. He was a Callium citizen to the core, but maybe he still couldn't accept that his daughter had to be the one to die for the country. Even though we weren't rich, we went as far as to borrow money from our private loans to buy the medicine. Thanks to that, we were able to stock up on several months' worth of medicine. But that is where the problem began. Because of the medicine, we were in a mountain of debt that couldn't possibly be repaid through normal work. And my dad was fired from his job and blacklisted from various financial industries, leaving him basically unable to make any more money. I tried my best to earn at least our bare minimum living expense, but having to buy more medicine made that very difficult. My dad, stressed as he was, started to lay hands on alcohol, even though he wasn't a drinker, and he eventually started shouting harsh words at me. "It's all because of you. You ruined our family. Why did it have to be my daughter?" I wonder why. Why did it have to be me? I didn't know either. Anyways, my dad said nothing but the truth. It was true that this all happened because of me. While I was suffering from guilt, I ended up doing something I never should have. What do you think it was? Did you commit another crime? That's right. It was a crime. Crime using the computer. And the most profitable of them all. Hacking. Hacking the account data of unspecified people with poor security and transferring all of their money to a virtual account. The money laundering process was a hassle, but It was nothing compared to the amount of hard work you had to put into a normal job. The payout was still bread and crumbs compared to our growing debt, but I'd hoped my dad would cheer up after seeing a bag of money for once. And soon I realized that I should have never done something like this. My dad, who'd already been broken at that point, asked for the source of the money, and then found out I could easily make money through hacking. He then put a lock on the bag and ordered me to earn more money if I want the medicine. His reasoning was that since the step was all my fault, I should be the one to repay it. From then on, my dad never went outside, and except for when I was sleeping, he constantly stayed next to me and watched over me. At first, he sometimes got blind drunk and cried about how sorry he was, but even that disappeared as time went by, and after a certain point, he started to give me no feelings at all. He gave up treating me, whose death was already confirmed, as a daughter. No, as a human being. I was only the money-making machine for the family at that point. A life where the only salvation was receiving a day worth of medicine after handing over the dirty money I had earned from crimes. I thought I couldn't go on like this, so one day I made up my mind and stole the bag of medicine when my dad was asleep and ran away. Less than a day later, I was unfortunately discovered and forced back home. The way my dad glared at me back then, I can still remember it in vivid details. Filled with anger that I'd never seen before, he said he knew this was going to happen and looked at me like he had finally found a reason to hate me. Then, to make sure I could never run away again, he cut off one of my legs. What? Oh, sorry. Was that too violent? What do you mean he just cut off one of your legs? Is it freaking stupid? Please hold on just a little longer. I'm almost done. There's more to that! Well, it was just the same after that. I no longer had the will to live or the will to resist my dad, so the only thing I did was making more money. Was it around then? The precursor of the great catastrophe started to become more serious. One day, my dad was away from home all day, and I was focused on hacking like usual, having long given up on running away. At around dinner time, he came back to the room, holding a kitchen knife in one hand, and he looked at me and said this: "If the catastrophe becomes serious and the government falls apart, we might not be able to receive compensation. You're already struggling for enough, so let's end this here." I only found out about this later, but when a subject of the Life Regulation Act dies, a huge amount of compensation is given to the family member. Are you serious? This is a top secret that neither the government nor the receiver should disclose, but my dad must have found out after hearing about it from a black market dealer. Seriously? He wanted to enjoy his own life, getting the compensation before it's too late, in order probably to save himself? Even though all that you did was making him more and more money throughout every single day? What a prick! Where's the mother? Where's the mother in all of this? She probably already lost her life. That's right. Trying to drown out the sorrow of family, who would have lost their loved one with a loan of money. A horrendous law. Anyways, back to the story. As the catastrophe approached and the Callium government began to lose its footing, my dad became anxious. The original plan was to have me make money until the verge of death and receive the compensation too once I die. But he must have changed his mind as the situation worsened. To kill me and get the compensation before the situation became even worse. My dad approached me, holding the kitchen knife, and with an expression that seemed void of any emotion. How should I put it? Even though things had come to this, I surprisingly didn't feel anything. Maybe I had lost my emotions when I lost that leg. And after a while, when I came back to my senses... Oh my god! Oh, you got him! But still, I don't know how long it had been since I'd felt such strong emotions. The emotion that disappeared when my leg was cut off came back in the worst kind of form. How I ended up stabbing my dad, I don't really know. Was it because he was very drunk? If not, did my survival instinct come back to life? Either way, the only thing I was able to do was scream, cry, for however long I could. And that's the end of the story. The story of my life. Huh? What happened after that? I see. If things ended here, you wouldn't really be able to know how I got into this project, right? You're right. This story has a different, true ending. Soon after this happened, a certain someone came to visit me. That's right, it was your dad. So the whole time she was talking to Lucy. Interesting. Interesting. What a sight. I came here in person to see what kind of shameless lowlife would hack into our project bank account. But it seems I walked into something outrageous. Who are you? My name is Klein. I'm the executive manager of the Ark project, a project that will save humanity. Do you happen to be Phoenix? The idea of the hacker who stole our project funds. It's you, isn't it? It's clear to see that you're dealing with your own share of problems. So she stole from Klein. I see. Either way, first things first. I would like to hear your side of the story. Would you come with me? Interesting. So he didn't send out the police right away. He wanted to resolve this issue himself. Even though he was suspecting a lowlife, like the worst of the worst, and trying to interfere with the one that tries to save everyone, he actually opened up his hand in order to save her, hear her out, even though their first impression was already terrible. And she probably needed that. If somebody else saw that, she would have probably been thrown into prison, and without access to any form of medicine, she would have died on the spot. I think at this point of time she needed the medicine daily, right? Since the prices were getting worse and worse. And with that leg, she wouldn't really be able to survive long in the prison either. Okay, now Dad's diary. The diary of Klein, the executive manager of the Ark project, and also the father of one child. Klein does his best to protect his daughter in his own way. However, what happened? Year 2, July 23. I got into another fight with Lucy. She kept insisting that she wanted to go to the civilians' town to visit her friends, so I ended up losing control of my emotions. Currently, the civilian group is like a ticking time bomb that could go off at any moment. With the dissatisfaction towards the researcher at an all-time high, there's no telling what will happen if Lucy, the daughter of the executive manager, falls into their side. I mean, they already were willing to kill the security guards, the neutral party! Lucy would be an even better hostage for them. No matter how much I tell her this is for her own sake, it doesn't seem to make much sense for my young daughter. At times like these, being a single parent weighed especially heavy upon me. Year 2, July 29th. Today I learned that Lucy went out to civilian town without telling me. In the end, nothing came of it. But it almost feels like a miracle that she came out unscathed in this kind of atmosphere. I was more concerned about Lucy than I was angry. Even if she can't die, even if it is a virtual world, this is a matter that can't be dismissed so easily. Lucy is still young. I don't want to subject her to terrible experiences when she scarcely had good ones to begin with. Until now, I've been taking a wait-and-see approach, but if things get any worse, in the worst case of scenarios, I would have to consider using that. Loop. Year 2, August the 1st. In the end, I once again chose the path of being hated by my daughter, for her own sake. A mansion that remains as dummy data on a separate dimension within the Ark. It's a completely isolated space, off-limited to all but authorized personnel that not even the loop system can affect. In order to protect Lucy from the constant danger she's exposed to, I've decided to shelter her for a while in this mansion that no one can enter or leave, until some semblance of order is restored within the Ark, until it's okay for her to roam around freely. I will keep her safe. Of course, Lucy had no say in this decision. Lucy won't be able to understand, and she will resent me more than ever before. But as long as I can keep Lucy safe, I'm content with that. A mansion. The remaining pages are torn off and unreadable. Wait a second. You trapped Lucy in a mansion. And your current state is also trapped in a mansion, with a portrait that's scratched out from... with your portrait that has been scratched out. Azar kind of ended up using the dummy datas in order to recreate this world. I mean, I already kind of suspected that Lucy became the protagonist because that was her inner wish, to get the attention that she never got, be surrounded by her friends that she was probably separated from. Everyone has to pay attention to Lucy now. She's the key to everything. She needs to do everything. Everyone needs to pay attention. This is specifically what she probably wished for. And she was probably also kind of angry at her dad, trapping him in the same mansion that she was trapped in, without any chances to leave. I can kinda see where Azar got the idea from. Lucy, do you have any recollection of that? Probably not. It's probably for the best. If you knew that you were related to his prison in some kind of form, that would be kind of heartbreaking, Lucy. The Diary of Lucy, the only daughter of the executive manager Klein. Lucy is imprisoned by Klein. No! No! You're going to give me more information about that? Completely covered off from the outside world. Lucy tries to find a way out of the mansion to reunite with her friends. See? That's what I mean. She wanted to become she wished to be returned to her friends, so she became the central piece of the investigators. All of her friends are probably the investigators. That is why they were also included in that ice cream shot. All her friends became the investigators. She became the protagonist, got everyone's attention that she was lacking because she was the singular child. It all makes sense now. So this is how he actually fulfilled her wish. He really created a world based around everyone's wishes. It is absolutely messed up, because those wishes are kind of twisted, Azar, just saying. But still, she must never figure that out. Never. This will break her heart. This will literally break her heart. August the 4th. The weather is rainy. It's been 3 days since my dad locked me into this mansion. I thought I needed to organize some clues at this point, so I'm going to keep a diary starting from the day. I've been looking around for a hidden door for 3 days straight, but to no avail. A window that for some reason I can't open or break, even though I can clearly see through it. A corridor that never ends, a furnace that's completely blocked off. The only way in and out of this house is through the front door, which only opens when my dad comes in. So sneaking out seems like a challenge. My dad locked me up here. I still can't believe it. He said it's for my sake, but I don't know what he means. I wish he would at least explain what is going on. Anyways, I have to find a way out of here somehow. I even had plans to go out with my friends. I want to at least tell them that I won't be seeing them for a while. But my dad won't even allow that. It's always like that. He doesn't listen to anything I say. I hate my dad. August 11. The weather is cloudy. It's been 10 days since I was trapped in this mansion. My dad still seems to have no intention of letting me out of here. Still, I've had some progress. I had a bit of a serious talk with my dad. To summarize what my dad said, it seems there's something bad going on amongst the civilians, and my dad locked me in here to keep me out of it. I still don't have a good impression of my dad, but now I at least understand that he's doing this for a reason. I'm partially to blame for not listening to him when he told me to stay out of the village. But hearing that worries me in a different way. If the outside world is bad enough for my dad to take me into hiding, then what about the others? What about Merlin, Sharon, and Joey? What happens to my friends? For the time being, I don't think I can escape from here, so I'll have to ask my dad tomorrow if it is possible for my friends to be protected here with me. Although I doubt my stubborn dad would listen to me in the first place. I should at least give it a try. August the 17th. The weather is clear. It's been 16 days since I was trapped in this mansion. And still here, alone. I don't know why, but my dad doesn't seem to care about protecting anyone but me. He told me I don't need to worry too much, but I honestly think that's a lie. If it really were a situation I didn't need to worry about, he wouldn't have locked me in here in the first place. But I'm done worrying, because I'm going to get out of here. I don't think my dad noticed, but if you look closely, there are crevices all over this mansion that seem to lead to the outside. I have to look more closely at the exact structure, but hopefully I can sneak out without my dad knowing. I'm worried about my friends. I want to go and see them. September 1, a cloudy day. It's been 1 month since I was trapped in this mansion. Lately, I've been focusing on making a violin. When I see Merlin again, I'm going to give her this violin that I made myself. She told me she was going to play the violin for me the next time that we meet. It's really difficult to make, but I have plenty of time. I'll definitely complete it with my own hands. As for the escape, I'm making progress, slowly but steadily. One thing that I know at this point is that the crevices are connected to the outside of this mansion, but not where I was originally. There's a huge barrier standing in the way, and I don't see anything beyond it, so I don't know if I can just get out here physically. Maybe it's because this is a virtual world. It seems like only the front door that my dad uses is connected to where I was originally. I wonder if I can somehow use this return stone that I got from Annie. It could get me to the village instantly. You had a return stone? October the 1st. The weather is clear. It's been 2 months since I was trapped in this mansion. The day has finally come. Tomorrow, I'm going to escape from this mansion. My preparations are complete. The return stone that I brought with me. At first I thought it was broken since it didn't really seem to respond, but that wasn't it. I think it's made so it can't be used inside of this mansion. When I tried going out through the crevice and standing as far away from the mansion as I could, I got a response. Now that I know I can use the return stone, all that's left to do is prepare. I finished the violin and got a present for Joey too. And I made sure Dad is busy tomorrow. It's a perfect timing to escape. I can finally meet with everyone after 2 months. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know if I can sleep with my heart pounding like that. What about the danger, Lucy? October the 2nd. The weather is rainy. How did this happen? I went to the village and met with my friends, but everyone treated me like a stranger. And for some reason, I was chased by the villagers. The violin also got broken. I worked so hard to make it. I asked my dad, but he wouldn't tell me anything. It's always the same. We'll sort things out soon enough, so be patient and stay in this mansion. Are things really going to be okay? Will my friends remember me again? Why did my friends forget about me? Now, I don't understand anything. I want to play with everyone again. Whether, I don't even know. I wonder how long it's been since I was trapped in this mansion. I wonder how long I have to stay here. My friends forgot about me, and I'm alone. In this huge mansion, I'm forever alone. Even my dad, who used to visit every day, almost never comes by anymore. It's always been that way. When I needed him the most, he was never there for me. I want to turn back time. I want to go back to those days when I was happy with everyone. And that's the point when Azar got the time loop idea. Oh my god! Lucy! But wait a second. Could it be that in that dummy data, was she shielded from the freeze effect? It seems clear that her memories from the loop weren't affected either. The loop happened, she went out, met her friends, nobody recognized her. Because nothing has ever happened. Then she returned back to the mansion, the freezing happened, and her dad disappeared. He never returned before he visited at least once a day. Which means, just as Phoenix, my little girl has spent 150 years without her knowledge in this mansion, all alone, trapped inside of those four walls, with nothing to do, completely isolated, without a single clue what's going on, only her worries. And then at one point, Azar probably found her in the dummy data, read her thoughts, scanned her mind, got the ideas, turned her into the protagonist, made the world based on her wishes, the time loop and everything. Maybe at some point she even wrote the story without her knowledge. I mean, she had nothing else to do over all those years, right? Maybe that's the reason why he prepared the second Azar. They were both in a similar situation. Maybe he wanted to ensure that at least somebody is taking care of her, that she isn't all alone in this world, that someone always wakes her up before she wakes up, that she never, ever has to be alone, ever again. Maybe that's the whole reason behind the Clone Azar. Even Phoenix probably was placed there in order to ensure that she never has to be alone. Until he forgot his whole mission. And that's the reason why, even though he started to hate the looping world, he still took care of Lucy. Even if he didn't treat her right and was kind of rough with her, especially during loop 13 when he killed Heinz, or 14, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe somewhere in her mind it was programmed in that he needs to ensure that Lucy's fine. Maybe. This is very, very interesting. Really, really interesting. Oh god. No, but seriously, that mentions certainly Lucy's prison. Klein was trapped inside of Lucy's prison. Oh, the irony. Oh, the freaking irony. Did I get another report from this? Doesn't really seem like it. Azar, can we talk about this? No? I mean, it's good to see you back. But I would really love to know more about this. It seems like you two are really closely connected to each other, even though most of that stuff was suppressed by your own mind. I mean, it was still there, probably in subconscious, just like Lucy's. But still. Maybe, because of this dummy data nature of her prison, that's the reason why some pieces of her subconscious was always around. Maybe it wasn't only related to the protagonist thing, so that we make slight progress around here. It's difficult, really difficult, but also really interesting. How much time do I still have? Not that much, but at the very least I still have enough time to search for the school uniform, right? I have time to look for the school uniform. Has to be somewhere around here. Okay, this isn't the school uniform, but Lucy, did you get the idea for the escape door from this door? It looks kind of similar. It's literally a door leading nowhere that is currently protected by Ironheart. I mean, the exit point had to be around here somewhere at some point, right? They opened it around the village. This kind of looks like a starting area, the marketplace of the village itself. It would make sense if it was around here somewhere. You told me that Oh! Okay. I really got it. Holidays are over. A new school begins. A slightly old Lucy in a happy world that may not be too far into the future. And at some point, I'm going to get a cat outfit. Purchase from the Ark vending machine. Wait a second. What do you mean Ark vending machine? I already tried to purchase stuff over there for a long time, but maybe I need to buy more gifts. Maybe if I have all the gifts, I can buy that cat outfit? And there was something else as well, right? Double check. Summer Twilight Lucy. It's fun to play in the water, but the deep zones are still scary. Even so, Lucy has plenty of adventurous spirit, so once she improves the swimming skill, she might be able to swim far away. Or as far ahead. Okay, for this I need to buy the DLC, but at the very least we can apply this. Can I run with this outfit in town? Oh my god! Joey! Look! Look, I have a school uniform! I know it's suspicious. What the hell is she doing with a school uniform? But still! Look, Lorraine! You see this? Hello, Lucy! There's not much time left! Oh yeah, I know. Oh, by the way, now that I have this unlocked, do you talk now? Azar! Come on! Talk to me! Talk to me! I know that you don't want to talk, but at the very least talk a little bit. I literally have a new outfit, Azar. You need to take notice of that. You're literally the only one who could technically make notice of that. Okay, well, I would say this is a perfect moment for us to make a little cut. In the next part, we're going to start a new run. We're going to work on all of our investigators. And then, once we're ready, go for the final ending. Right? Unless, of course, there's a third ending or something like that. Or maybe a fourth, depending on how many clovers you have. Can't really say for sure yet, but we're getting there. Right? We are getting there. I hope you guys had fun, and see you in the next part. Until then, bye bye!